The music industry is constantly changing. Spotify is evolving the way artists release singles leading up to albums. And I just got an extra 30,000 streams by releasing an album using the Waterfall Strategy. I'm going to share my screen in a minute and show you what that is and how we did that. But I have a 13-song album that we released all of them as singles and then finally the album. And I want you to see what happened because it's absolutely insane. You could be leaving a ton of royalties and a ton of streams on the table if you don't do it this way. My name's Chris, also known as the artist Manafest. I have about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and I'm the creator of the Spotify 5-Day Challenge. Let's jump into this. So I'm on my Spotify homepage here, and I'm going to scroll down here. And as you can see, I just released this new album called Silent Beast. As you can see, some of these songs have hundreds of thousands of streams. Hopefully this one will break the 1 million mark soon. We'll see. And the new single that I released with it that came out today that we pitched to the Spotify curators was this song, Born to Rise. That's why it's only got 18,000 streams. I think it got 12,000 streams the first day. But what I want to share with you is that, look, we released all of these songs as singles, okay? And then I bundled them all up together as an album and released it as Silent Beast. That's the title track, all right? But I want to show you what happened on release day. So I'm in my artist's dashboard here, and if I click on music, and then you can see the album here. And so let's just take a look at this first song here, Silent Beast, which is the single. This came out a few months ago. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here, and as I can see here, the last few days it's been getting a few hundred streams. And then yesterday when the album dropped, boom, 4,800 streams. But let's click on music again, and let's go to the next song, Born for Greatness. Okay, that came out just a few months ago, okay, probably like just, I think, a little bit before December. It was cranking along, doing, 1,000 streams, a few hundred, around the 900. New album comes out, boom, 5,256, okay? And obviously you can see where I'm going with this. This song pushing my way to the top. It was only getting like 200 streams. And then, of course, I released the album to promote the whole thing. Boom, freaking 2,962 on the Friday when the album came out. But what's really dope is like 1,500 the second day, and it's Sunday right now, so this is only showing Saturday. But as this continues, I'm going to have a nice arc here, so I'm going to get thousands and thousands of more streams by releasing it this way. So let's just say, even in the next 7 days, if I got like an extra 100,000 streams, if I got 30,000 plus streams just in the first day, I'd say it's pretty fair to say within a week I get an extra 150,000 streams times 0.003. It's another $450, right? Let alone let's go for a month or whatever like that. But that's because I released them all as singles and then I dropped them all together and bundled them as an album. Okay, so again, this one's doing about 4,000 streams almost, 3,800. And what's really cool here is if I go to Spotify, and again, I'm all about releasing singles, okay? Let's just open this. Actually, I don't need that open there. Let's just close that. If I scroll down here, and you can see, obviously, it's not showing. Why isn't it not showing? If I go to, I got to go to my actual name. If I go to Manafest, and I can see, obviously, my popular songs, and then popular releases, and then albums, and then singles. But normally popular releases is always albums. And so if I just did singles, it would show the last, singles and what's most popular or whatnot. But what's really great about doing it as an album, then people can see the whole bundle and then they can listen to all the songs. And so I really encourage you to release each song as a single and then release it as a full album. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll release 4 or 5 singles, and let's just say Teardrops, then I release an EP called Teardrops, or I release 7 songs or 6 songs, and maybe the 6th song is Way Back Home. I might call the EP Way Back Home, right? Like you can see that I did this for, if we go to albums, and I could remove these now, but my latest album, Learning How to Be Human, we released all these songs that we had. I think it was 11 songs right here on Doomsday, right? Because that was the latest single. And then I released, I think, the rest of them on learning how to be human. And then that was all 12 of them, right? So just leading up to it. I also did that with this song, with this album, Here We Go, Here I Am, and I added a whole bunch of my cover songs. Where is it? No, actually, that was on the Doomsday. That's why there's more here. So on my album Doomsday, which isn't really an album, it's just a digital version, I included my Seven Nation Army cover, My God's Gonna Cut You Down, and I think Crawling by Linkin Park. We did a bunch of covers, and I threw those on there because previously I just released them as singles, and I wanted a place where everybody could go to really push these actual singles, or they kind of get lost a little bit. Like, sure, the algorithm pushes them, but you want to make sure that you put them all together so that you get a nice boost. Now, I distribute my songs with DistroKid, and so as you can see, as this was the last single that I released before Silent Beast, so In God We Trust, I had to make sure when I re-uploaded it that I grabbed this ISRC code so that when I went to upload my full album, okay, so I'm uploading new music, and let's just say there's 10 songs on the album. When I'm putting in all the song titles, let's just scroll down here and say there's the album title, and let's just say the track title, and it was In God We Trust, if I can spell. And if I keep scrolling down, it's going to say already have an ISRC code. And then I paste that bad boy in there. It's not pasting for whatever reason. Paste. Anyways, you paste it in there. And then that way I don't lose any of my streams, right? Because I want to keep building up my streams on here. Otherwise, they would start back at 0, and Spotify, Apple Music, all of them would count it as a new song. But you use the same ISRC code when you re-upload it, and that's how you keep the streams. Because this song has been out for years, and I would hate to lose, my hundreds of thousands of streams, right? And so we want to make sure that we're growing, social proof, the whole thing, and just for me personally, hitting my goals. So the waterfall strategy is, which I talk about in my book, Spotify Profits 2.0, is that you release multiple singles, maybe halfway through, do an EP. You don't have to. You can if you want, because then just all those songs before will get another boost, right? Think about it. If I got 30,000 streams of a boost when I just on day one of that album coming out, well, what if, and I didn't do it this time, that if I had released an EP halfway through with 5 or 6 of those songs, I might have gotten 15 or 20,000 streams the day of. And then I do that again with the album. And it's just marketing, guys, and just being very wise and prudent and strategic with releasing songs so you can really maximize it. Now, I don't want to keep releasing multiple EPs every single time, leading up to it, the album. You could, I guess, and just keep on adding another song and another song and another song. But, I think it sometimes also clutters up your Spotify, and then you might want to pull them all down, and it's not as clean, and sometimes it confuses people. That's the other thing. Some people are like, oh, you got a whole album called Doomsday out, or Here I Am, and it's no, the real album is Learning How to Be Human, and I should take down 1 or 2 of those so that it's clear and not cluttering it up. But man, what a strategy to get, tens of thousands more streams than I normally would have got. As opposed to just releasing singles. And how many people had never heard of that song before, right? They never saw those other songs. It's all of a sudden, boom, here they all are. They can listen to them all. I make a lot more royalties. They get a listening experience. And what's really important too, guys, is when you release an album, right? We always do Facebook and Instagram ads, of course, but then we also do Spotify marquee ads. So it's that full ad that pops up on your phone when you're listening to Spotify, and the conversion rate on those is so freaking high. The people that click, and we spent, I think, about $2,000 on this one to really promote it and push it, and 30,000 streams just day one, just on the album. Obviously, we get hundreds of thousands of streams a day, which is great, or about 100,000 plus streams. I don't know. I got to look at the latest or whatever. But the point is, you want to release singles leading up to the album. Albums are not dead. We still do CDs even. Fans want to collect something. They want it signed. And at the end of the day, though, if fans don't even know you exist, they're not going to stream you. So you've got to be marketing. You've got to put yourself out there with organic content and running ads to it. I am not the guy that loves to post every single day and multiple times a day. I definitely post because I know how important it is, because that's where I find my winners and that's where I find my next ads, so that my music can be promoting itself 24/7. Like, if you're not running ads, somebody else is. And it's such a huge opportunity, especially when we know that 80% of artists have less than 1,000 monthly listeners. Like, that's crazy, guys. You put money into the music to make it. Now let's market it and get it out there. I hope to see you on our next Spotify 5-day challenge. Click the link below, and I hope to see you on that live Q&A as part of the training. Peace, guys.